International trade is often described as the lifeblood of global economy, but its role extends far beyond mere exchange. In the agricultural sector, it acts as a powerful engine for competition, breaking down domestic monopolies, driven um, innovation, and ultimately benefiting both procedures and consumers. Without the pressure of international rivals, local agricultural markets can become stagnant, inefficient, and also unresponsive to consumer demands. So, by opening borders to trade, countries inject their agricultural economies with a healthy dose of competitive pressure, forcing domestic producers to improve, adapt, and specialize. This dynamic process is crucial for achieving food security, fostering sustainable practices, and ensuring the long-term viability of farming industry.
So next is key concepts, how trade fuels agricultural competition. The first one is price competition and consumer choice. International trade exposes domestic consumers to a wider variety of agricultural products, often at different price points. This forces domestic producers to compete on price to retain market share. Here's how we link it with agricultural. A country that only grows one type of apple, such as red delicious, might see its prices kept high by a few local producers. When trade allows for the import of New Zealand's envy apples, Chilean Granny Smith, and French Golden Delicious, the domestic monopoly is broken. Consumers get more choice, and domestic orchards must either become more efficient to lower prices or differentiate their product. So the second one is efficiency and economies of scale. To compete globally, producers must minimize costs and maximize output. Access to larger international markets allows successful firms to achieve economies of scale, lowering the average cost per unit. Here's the agricultural link where a wheat farmer in Kansas is no longer just competing with the farmer in Nebraska. They are competing with massive, highly efficient grain operations in Canada and Ukraine. To survive, they must adopt better technology like GPS guided tractors, optimize their supply chains, and manage resources more effectively to produce wheat at a competitive global price. Next one is innovation and quality improvement. So, competition is a key driver of innovation. To stand out in the crowded global marketplace, producers cannot rely on commodity products alone. They must innovate in terms of product quality, sustainability, and value added features. Uh, Here's what I found from research where the global coffee market is fiercely competitive. While Brazil and Vietnam compete on price for bulk commodity coffee, countries like Colombia and Ethiopia compete on quality and origin story. This has driven innovation in harvesting techniques, innovation fermentation processes, and certifications like fair trade and organic, allowing them to command premium prices. And last one is specialization and comparative advantage. This is the foundation theory of international trade. It states that countries should specialize in producing goods where they have a lower opportunity cost and then trade for other goods. For example, it makes no economic sense for Norway to use expensive land and labor to grow bananas in greenhouses. Instead, Norway specializes in what it's good at, such as salmon farming and dairy, and trades with tropical nations like Ecuador or the Philippines for bananas. This specialization, driven by competition, leads to a more efficient global allocation of resources and higher total output.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum. My name is Dennis Sarkar. So now I will talk about the two examples. So the first example is the US soybean versus Brazilian soybean competition. So for decades, the US was the world top soybean exporter. So when the intense competition from Brazil, which developed vast tracts of arable land and invested in research for tropical soy varieties, forced American farmers to become drastically more efficient and lobby for better trade deals to maintain their market share, particularly with China. So the second example is the European cheese war. The European Union protects market for cheese with designated origin for example, Parmigiano Reggiano or Clifford. So they face competition from similar, often cheaper products from the US and the other countries. So this competition forced the European producers to double down on quality and authenticity using their geographical indication status as a competitive weapon to justify higher price in the global market. So the third example is the rise of superfood from developing nations. So the global demand for superfood like quinoa from Bolivia and Peru, acai berries from Brazil, and teff from Ethiopia has been fueled by trade. This competition has provided immense economic opportunities for farmers in these countries, but it also presents challenges such as ensuring local population can still afford these traditional.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fakrullah. My nama metric is 300314. Okay, today I will be presenting the visual diagram that explain how international trade shape and transform the agriculture sector. We start with market liberalization, which happen when a government reduce tariff, open its border, or sign a free trade agreement. This step allow agriculture product to move more freely between countries. Because of this, local farmers suddenly face stronger competitive as cheaper or higher quality product from abroad and enter the market. This increased competition leads farmer to what we call the producer dilemma. At this stage, they must make an important strategic decision. They can no longer rely on all methods. Instead, they need to choose how to adapt, whether by improving efficiently, upgrading product quality, or shifting to crop where they have a natural advantage. From this decision point, there are three main adaptation pathways. The first pathway is the efficiency route. Here, farmers focus on reducing production costs. They adapt modern technology such as precision farming, drones, and automated machinery. They also expand their farm size to achieve economies of scale. The outcome of this strategy is lower price for consumer because the cost of producing each unit become cheaper. The second pathway is the quality route. Instead of competing on price, farmers improve their product quality. This include producing premium varieties, adding value through processing, or obtaining certification like organic or fair trade. Strong branding and storytelling also help differentiate the product. This pathway result in greater product variety and higher quality for consumer. Okay, the third pathway is the specialization route. In this scenario, a country or region focus on the crop it can produce most efficiently based on climate. Sustainable crop may be imported from countries that produce them more efficiently. This leads to more efficient use of global resources and higher total production worldwide. All three outcomes, lower price, higher quality, and better specialization, merge to create a stronger and more resilient agriculture sector. This sector become more innovative, more competitive, and better prepared to face global challenge. However, the process does not end here. A stronger domestic sector also increases pressure on farmers in other countries. This creates a feedback loop because the improvement made locally now push the global market to adapt again. As a result, the entire agriculture industry continue to evolve and progress. That's all from me. Thank you.
In summary, international trade is not a zero sum game for agriculture. It's a catalyst for a positive and transformative competitive process. By subjecting domestic farmers to global market forces, trade breaks down monopolies and reduces prices for consumers, drives efficiency and innovation, leading to better farming practices and technology, encourages specialization, allowing countries to focus on what they do best, which boosts the global food production, improves quality and variety, offering consumers year-round access to a diverse range of food products. While this competitive pressure can be challenging for producers who are not unable to adapt, the overall effect is more dynamic, resilient, and innovative agricultural sector that is better equipped to feed a growing global population. The key for governments is to support the agricultural communities through this transition with investment in research, infrastructure, and education, ensuring they can not only survive but thrive in competitive global market. Thank you.